Hello everyone. So this is second lecture of Unit 3, and in this lecture I'll discuss about Class B chopper and a combination of Class A and Class B chopper. So Class A chopper already I covered in the previous lecture. Now in this lecture I'll cover the Class B chopper and the combination of Class A and Class B chopper. So this is the Class B chopper which is working in second quadrant. So here you can see that speed is positive but torque is negative. That means it is working in regenerative braking mode. Okay. So this provides positive output voltage and negative average output current. That means power is negative. So power is fed back to the source. Average power flows from load to the source. Okay. So like in the last class, in class A chopper, the control switch was placed here and freewheeling diode was placed across the motor. But here the configuration is just reversed. The control switch is now connected in parallel with the motor, and freewheeling diode is connected in series with the source. Okay. So when switch S is on for a period of T to T on. Okay. So you can see here once it is on, so this is directly short circuited across this path. Okay. So this circuit is cut off, and whatever current in this, so you can see the direction of current, whatever energy that is in the form of mechanical energy stored here in back EMF. So that energy will circulate like this, and it will charge the inductor current. Okay, so the current through inductor will rise. Okay, so there are two mode of operation. One mode is when switch S is on. So when switch S is on, whatever energy stored in the mechanical part of the motor, that will be used to store in the form of electrical energy in the inductor. So current through inductor will rise. So this current IA will increase linearly. So you can conclude that once switch is on, VA will be 0 because it is directly short circuited. So diode blocks voltage V. Whatever voltage, the supply voltage, it will blocked by this diode. Okay, IA increases due to E, and in this the condition is back EMF must be greater than the terminal voltage. Okay, mechanical energy converted to electrical. Whatever mechanical energy is stored in the form of speed of the motor, that will be converted into electrical energy and will be stored in this inductor. So energy stored in inductor increases. Any remaining energy will dissipate in this resistance. Okay, and also you can see the equation, uh, governing equation we can write like this: the drop in the resistance, drop in this inductor will be equal to the back EMF because this voltage is 0. Okay, now second mode of operation when switch S is off, so that is from T on to total time period. Okay, so from this circuit we can see if this is off, so the current was flowing like this. You can see here the current was flowing like this. Now this current will force this diode to be in forward biased. So whatever energy stored in this inductor as well as energy stored in this back EMF, they both will be delivered to the source. Okay, now since inductor is delivering current to the source, so current I will decrease linearly. Okay, so you can see here, so whatever energy stored here, whatever energy stored in the inductor, they both will be delivered to the source. Okay, now this current IA will decrease linearly because the whenever inductor is delivering current, or whenever it is delivering the energy, the current will decrease linearly. So you can conclude that IA flows through diode D and source V. IA decreases in negative direction. Energy stored in inductor and energy supplied by machine both are fed to the source. Okay, so in this duty interval the current I will decrease. Okay, if you want to write the electrical equation in this state, you can write like the drop in resistance plus drop in the inductor plus this source voltage, that will be equal to the back EMF voltage. Okay, so these three voltages will be equal to this back EMF voltage. Now I'll discuss about this regenerative braking mode. So you can see that once the switch is on, the current is rises. Whenever the switch is off, the current falls. Okay, so if I discuss with the help of this waveform, so here you can see that the voltage, it is 0 across the motor terminal, and it is VA during off cycle. Okay, so duty cycle we can again define as delta is equal to T on upon T, and under steady state condition generator side voltage we can write as back EMF minus drop in the armature resistance, because average drop in the inductance, that will be 0, so we are taking only armature resistance drop. Now negative, because current flows from motor to the source, that's why we are taking negative sign here. So chopper side armature voltage, that will be the average voltage, we can define as 1 minus duty cycle times voltage. Okay, so that means the terminal voltage or the armature voltage will be equal to back EMF minus armature resistance drop. So here we had substituted 1 minus delta times V. Okay, also once voltages are known, we can define what will be the current. So simply here just take this term this side and IaRa this side, you will get E minus 1 minus delta times V upon Ra. Okay, so this is the average armature current expression. So here you can see that in this interval the Ia is increasing linearly, and once switch is off, the energy is delivered from the inductor to the source, so current is decreasing linearly. Okay, now if you want to find what will be the minimum and maximum braking speeds, so we can define that back EMF minus IaRa, that is the terminal voltage, this will be lying between 0 and V. Okay, so this inequality holds true, and minimum braking speed we can obtain whenever this is equal to 0. If we equate this term to be 0, we can find what will be the minimum. So back EMF, again this is separately excited motor, so flux is constant, so back EMF will be proportional to the speed. So proportionality constant, if we take Km, and omega minimum we can calculate is equal to IaRa. So omega minimum will be equal to IaRa upon constant Km. Okay, now maximum possible braking speed if you want to find, then this term must be equal to V. So again take this term to the right side, so that will become V plus IaRa. Again this is separately excited DC motor, so we can take back EMF proportional to the speed. So if we take one proportionality constant Km, so we can write omega maximum to be IaRa plus V upon Km. So thus regenerative braking control is effective only when motor speed is less than omega max and more than omega minimum. So this is the range where regenerative braking control can be applied. So there is a problem, you can solve it. So a DC motor, rather a DC chopper is used for regenerative braking of a separately excited DC motor. The DC supply voltage is 400 volt. The motor has armature resistance of 0.2 ohm. Constant is given 1.2 volt second per radian. Average armature current during regenerative braking is kept constant, and the value is 300 rpm with negligible ripple. For a duty cycle of 60% for a chopper, we have to determine power returned to the DC supply, minimum maximum permissible braking speed, and speed during regenerative braking. So first we have to find what will be the average armature voltage, that was 1 minus duty cycle times V. So duty cycle is 60%, so we can take 0.6. So 1 minus 0.6, voltage is given 400 volt, so we are getting terminal voltage to be 160 volt. Now terminal voltage multiplied by terminal current will give the power delivered to the source. So power returned to DC supply will be 160 into this 300 rpm, that is given constant, and it is ripple free, so that will comes to be 48 kilowatt. Now we have to find what will be the minimum breaking speed. Like in the previous slide discuss about the expression of minimum speed. So that was Ia Ra upon Km. Ia is given 300, Ra is given to be 0.2. So 300 into 0.2 divided by constant, that is 1.2 volt second per radian. So we are getting 50 radian per second or 477.46 radian per minute, revolution per minute. Similarly, maximum breaking speed, if we add V plus IARA divided by Km, just we have to take 400. So in this expression I add 400 here, divided by 1.2, we are getting 383.33 radian per second. Okay, now speed during regenerative braking. So first we have to find what will be the back EMF during regenerative braking. So that we can find by terminal voltage plus IARA. So terminal voltage already we calculated 160. Armature current is given 300 ampere, that will be multiplied with 0.2 ohm. So if we add these two, we are getting 220 volt. Now once we got the back EMF, we can equate this to be proportionality constant and speed. So divide this expression with the proportionality constant, that is given to be 1.2 volt second per radian. So speed we are getting 220 upon 1.2, that is 1750.7 rpm. Okay, so likewise you can solve a lot of problems. Now I'll discuss about two quadrant control. So in class A we were controlling in first quadrant, that was torque was positive and speed was positive, and in class B we are controlling in second quadrant. Now we are designing one chopper that will control both in first quadrant as well as in second quadrant. That means we are you can see we are keeping speed positive, but torque we are getting positive or negative. That means reversal of current should be possible with the chopper. So you can see if we combine both class A and class B, we are getting this kind of configurations. Okay, like in class A, the controlled switch was in series with the supply, and diode was a freewheeling diode was in parallel with the motor. So this part, actually you can see this part will form class A chopper. Now in class B chopper, the control switch is in parallel. The control switch is in parallel with the motor, and the diode was in series with the supply. So T2 and D1, you can see here, they form the class B chopper. Okay, so T2 D1 forms the class B chopper, T1 and D2 forms the class A chopper. Okay, so you can see VA is always positive, so speed is always positive. IA, the armature current direction we can reverse. So one thing is there, we should not fire both these transistors, or both these control switches should not be fired at the same time, otherwise there will be a direct short circuit across the supply. Okay, so to avoid that, the once the upper switch is on, bottom switch must be off, and vice versa. So working you can understand from this. So if you want to discuss about Q1 operation, so once this switch is on, so current will be delivered through T1 to this motor, then back to the supply. Okay, so current is positive, so this is the motoring mode. Okay, now if we turn off this supply, this is already turned off, so whatever current is there, that will freewheel through this. Okay, so here the current will decrease. So here you can see once T1 is conducting, the voltage applied across the motor will be VA, and current IA is increasing because inductor is storing the energy. In second mode, you can see here that this T1 is off. Now the current will freewheel through this diode D2, and whatever energy stored in the inductor will fall that will dissipate actually in the armature resistance. So Ia is decreasing. Okay, so you can see here average if you want to find, that will be delta 1 into V. Delta 1 we are defining for T1, so that is T on T1 upon capital T, and delta 2 is 0 because we are not controlling T2 in Q1 mode. Okay, so T1 is chopping on and off. So condition here it is that the armature voltage must be greater than the back EMF voltage. So average value of the armature voltage you can see here, it is higher than the back EMF voltage EA. Okay, so this is the condition. So you can see here armature voltage actually high, then low, then again high depending on the duty cycle, but the average value that is represented with this dotted line, red dotted line, that must be greater than the back EMF voltage that is represented with black dotted line. So average VA is positive and armature voltage is larger than back EMF and IA is positive. So this is the motoring mode operation in quadrant 1. Now coming to forward braking mode, that is Q2 operation. So here you can see that T2 and D1 actually operated. So once D1 is conducting, you can see here, once D1 is conducting, the energy stored in the inductor and the energy in the form of speed, that is in the form of back EMF, that will be supplied to the source. Okay, so current is decreasing and armature voltage will be nothing but the supply voltage. Okay, now when T2 is conducting, so this is turned on. Now the current will circulate through this transistor, and whatever energy stored in the rotating part of the machine, that will be supplied to the inductor, armature inductor, and the current will rise. Okay, so here Ia is rising, and since it is short circuited, so armature voltage across this terminal, that will be 0. Okay, so again we can define what will be the average armature voltage that is applied across this motor, that will be 1 minus delta 2 times V. Here delta 1 is kept 0 because we are not operating T1 in that mode, and delta 2 we can define T on T2 upon T. So T2 is chopping on and off. Here again the condition is that the back EMF voltage must be greater than the terminal voltage. Okay, so back EMF voltage, that is represented with the black dashed line here, that must be greater than the average voltage of the terminal voltage. Okay, so average VA is positive, average VA made smaller than back EMF EA, IA negative, so motor acts as a generator, that means quadrant 2 operation. So for fast transition from motoring to braking and vice versa, both T1 and T2 are controlled simultaneously, that is within a period. So within a period both T1 and T2 are operated. Okay, so when T1 is on and T2 is off between this interval, so if Ia is positive and armature voltage is greater than that back EMF, so current flow from supply to the motor via T1. Okay, similarly if Ia is negative and back EMF is more than VA, so current flows from motor to the supply via D1, so that will be the braking operation. Similarly when T1 is off and T2 is kept on between T on to total time period, again if Ia is positive, current circulate via D2. So if Ia is positive, it will circulate through this path, so that means again it will be motoring operation. If Ia is negative and current circulate via T2, if negative and circulate via this path, so that means again it will be regenerative braking. So both motoring and regenerative braking operation we are getting twice in a complete period. So in that the duty cycle we can define T on T1 upon T, where T is the chopper period, and average armature voltage we can write delta times V. Okay, thank you. So in next class I'll discuss about 4 quadrant chopper, and I'll give some uh, solved examples to make it more understandable. Okay, thank you.